Imagine a place with crystal clear blue waters. Imagine a place teeming with fantastical islands, monkeys climbing through sinewy trees, a place where smiles come easy and boats drive fast. Imagine a place where palm trees sway in the wind and cheeky ocean plankton sting. Ooh. So today we are going to El Nido. We as in you and me. Juan Pablo and I already went. I'm gonna give you some tips. I'm gonna share some of the locals' wisdom as I found it out myself, and hopefully bring a little bit of light to your day. I know it's a dark time, but that's the idea. We arrived in the late evening. The next day we woke up very, very early. We got our complimentary tuk-tuk from our lovely hostel that had a brownout. A brownout is not what you might initially think. Funny name, it's just when there's no electricity or power to the island at all. They hustled us out onto the boats and you could see left and right. We were right in the middle of the marina. There were probably about 50, 60 different boats. And one of my favorite things about sitting there and watching all of the other tourists go onto the boats, all of the locals prepare everything, all the captains getting things ready. There was this one guy, I wish I had his job. He was standing over on the beach. He had his megaphone and he was telling everybody, okay, you can go. What a job. You just stand on the beach all day giving instructions. So as we were waiting, I was kind of watching what boatsmen were doing. Boatsmen? Sailors? Whatever. The captain went to start the engine and he kept trying to turn it over, but it wouldn't turn over. So then he grabs some lighter fluid and just opens up the engine compartment and squirts some on there. Then he goes to turn it over and it ignites. So, different way of starting a boat. Setting off to our first island stop, we were passing a lot of different islands, and I started to notice once our tour guide was telling us the names of the different islands, they like to name the islands after things that look like them. So there was Helicopter Island and Sea Turtle Island, which ironically they actually have sea turtles there. It's actually illegal to go to Sea Turtle Island and nobody can go because there are sea turtles, and so that's one of their nesting grounds. So that was an example of how serious they take the environment in this area. As we were going, the tour guide, he pointed out one island that was a resort island and you have to get there by helicopter. Didn't look like anything special. I was pretty happy with the boat that we were on. Our first stop was a lagoon. We had to swim all the way over there and then climb through this cavernous hole basically, and then once you enter you can see the rock formations all around you, and then you look down and you're in this bright green water, and then you look to your left and you see a line of tourists. This is the reality of going on a tour. Once we got out of there, we started swimming back to the boat. We started getting these pinching things everywhere, and it really stung. It was really itchy. So I get on the boat, plankton season. So between February and April, that's normally when plankton start mating and laying eggs. And plankton are actually very important for our ecosystem because they feed a lot of other fish, like whales. So anyways, it's very important that they are there, but they sting a little bit. And they're disgusting looking. They're like, sorry plankton, they're like these sacks with this red dot. Ugh. Anyways, the sting is not poisonous, but it is really itchy. So you can just put some vinegar on it like you would a jellyfish sting, or some lemon. I would advise, and if I would have known, I would have worn clothes. You live and learn. Among the other things that are swimming in this area are stonefish. I still haven't figured out if it's a ploy to get more money or if it's legitimate. I think it's legitimate. There are stonefish. They look like stones, and they sit on coral reefs or the rock beds basically, and if you step on it, bad news bears. So they advise a lot of people to buy the shoes. Then before we went to our next island, our wonderful guide, he decided to take us to a place where he thought there wouldn't be as many plankton, so we could do some snorkeling. So as we're snorkeling around, got to see such amazing things. And I've been diving in a lot of places in the world, mostly in Central and South America, and the coral here is beautiful. One of the big promises that Juan Pablo and I made to each other and to the environment and to nature is to get reef safe sunscreen. We take these kind of things really seriously, and when we can do something to help, we do it. So once we got up, I had gotten so many stings, I couldn't do it anymore. Juan Pablo kept going because he's like a little fish or something. So after we did a bit of snorkeling, we were headed to our next island. I was kind of paying attention to what the boatsmen, aka sailors, were doing. And I could see they were cooking, so I was really intrigued because you walk to the back of the boat and you've got two areas. So one man, he's cutting up the onions, he's cutting up some chili and stuff, so he's making rice on the boat. I asked the guy, like, so you guys just cook on the boat? And he said yes, and there's no electricity, it's all charcoal. Even more environmentally friendly. This is fantastic. And I found out that you cannot go fishing in and around these islands because it's illegal. They were cooking for two boats, so they split between the two boats, they split the duties so that it's not as much work and it can go a lot quicker. So they were cooking for about 20 people. It's so impressive. They cooked a whole fish. So a lot of you who have been to maybe South America or different parts of Asia, they cooked the whole fish. Now in Canada, normally we don't do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. But the first time I'd ever seen a whole fish head cooked was in Central America. So I had gotten used to it. But if you're a vegan and you're concerned about getting protein and or fat, either bring your own or bring a snack or something. Because otherwise it's just fruit, vegetables and rice. Tasty, but not nutritionally complete. So once all of our bellies were full, we all got back onto the boat. And then we went to the next place. And this place, this was my favorite part of the whole day, I think. We arrived at the big lagoon. So initially when you arrive, you see all these other boats around and you see these kayaks and it looks super touristy. And Juan Pablo and I looked at each other and thought, should we actually rent a kayak? Tons of sea urchins, which these ones are very poisonous if you step on them, and they've got these spikes and spines coming up that will pierce through your foot. And we saw jellyfish and just these beautiful rock formations around us, and just the color of the water is so impressive. I saw a black jellyfish. Never in my life have I seen a black jellyfish, but it was about this big and black. Very cute.
Shark! Just to the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. In the tunnel, we take the kayak. Oh no! Ah yes, in the jungle. We are going to bypass all of the wild tourists. Vamos.
As the boat is driving through the water, the sun is coming down a little bit. So this is golden hour and everything looks incredible. Just like the change in the watercolor from the morning and then just coming into our last island and seeing the palm trees. But what we discovered was once we went a little farther back, we were walking around, there were monkeys. This was the first time in the Philippines that I had actually seen a monkey. I was told you to be very, very careful and hold your camera if you have one with you. No feeding of animals. You are not allowed to do that. So no bananas, sorry monkeys. And apparently there was also shrews. So those two animals and monitor lizards often inhabit the islands. Because of where this island is situated, back in the war against the US, this is where the Filipino troops hid from the American forces. So I thought that was a really interesting piece of history, just to imagine yourself on an island like that and kind of think back to what the locals were thinking during that time and kind of trying to put yourself in their shoes. So after about an hour to an hour and a half at this last island, we started to head back to the main part of town, into the marina. And so as we're coming in, you can see a lot of other tours are ending and you can just see these other little inlets with beaches, and people had rented kayaks and they had kayaked all the way around and they had their own little private beach. And it was really beautiful. But I was starving. Having only vegetables and fruit, not enough. So we quickly got changed and we headed into this place in town that we saw that was completely plant-based friendly diet. So we decided that we would just head back to Puerto Princesa and get to the next island, which we found out later was a really good decision. As I kind of hinted to in my last video. So once we got back to the hostel, we really badly needed a shower. I'm usually not squeamish, I'm usually not afraid of things, but as I go in to go shower, I open the door and I see cockroaches climbing all over the floor, climbing all over the walls. Ooh. I immediately had to close it. I jumped up on the bed and yes, Juan Pablo came to the rescue and he had to kill them. Yeah, it's just not pleasant. If you've ever wondered why people are so grossed out by cockroaches and why they're so bad, just Google it, or I mean, don't. It's pretty nasty. The things that they can do and the things that they do. So anyways, just push. So we decided to head back to Puerto Princesa the next day.
Hi peeps.
I was just telling them about El Nido.
Oh yeah, it was scary. Well, it was cool, but then
scary?
Because I was gonna get in the water and then there were snakes.
I forgot about the sea snakes.
Yeah, we were thinking of like jumping in the water, taking a cold dip, but then we saw a snake swimming.
Oh, in the lagoon.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And then jellyfish and stuff.
Yeah, I mentioned the black jellyfish.
And so we just didn't.
But we had fun though. So today was a bit of a different video, but if you liked what if you liked what you saw, please hit the thumbs up. Comment if you want to see more. But yeah, anyways, if you want to follow daily adventures, check me out on Instagram and check him out too because he's a goofball. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned a thing or two, and I hope you managed to smile. See you in the next one. Careful, the TV's right behind you.
Now I can hilarious.